too much that is happening. Stop all that yapping. You gon' be mopping and waxing, yeah. Why they y'all calling me captain? Looking like Sparrow. Said in my sail like Jackson. Beat up collecting the booty. Head out the gutter, I'm talking my jewelry, yeah. Star on my neck, I represent. Part of the tribe, I'm indigenous. Whoa. Why you be tripping when I been out getting it? Really, this ain't nothing new. Started with nothing, I ain't even from it, but now we came back with the juice. Legendary, guess you could say it's hereditary. God flexing, looking very scary. Broke the shackles off me like it's Mary Mary. Yeah. If they come and take it from me, I'ma make it back. They say if you give a man the fish, you'll keep him coming back. But if you teach a man the fish, you'll go out making his own racks. Skip the handouts, took the learning. That's how I keep coming back. Yeah, for real. That's how I keep coming back. Yeah, for real. That's how I keep coming back. Had to pull my plans out. Got them looking so confused when I ain't got my hand out. They wanna extract my testosterone. They analyzing it back at home. I told them take it and check it. I'm chilling, I'm eating a bagel with my script on. You cannot clone what I've been putting on. Came from that dirt, it's organic, it's raw. This is that one in the tree and I APO billion. Net 30 pay by phone. Whoa. Slide back, got around rag. I've been waiting like the first day of school back. Backpack, got a full stack, ready for a long day with the rap snacks. Tell me what you want and I'ma give it to ya. Flavor, got her raising hands like hallelujah. Flow is too icy, tikka masala, I think I'm too spicy. Jasmine ricey, catching me now, it's highly unlikely. Hitting me up for a feature, just know the figure is pricey. I got 3 babies to feed, and don't you forget about wife, you are. If they come and take it from me, I'ma make it back. They say if you give a man the fish, you'll keep him coming back. But if you teach a man the fish, you'll go out making his own racks. Skip the handouts, took the learning. That's how I keep coming back. Yeah, for real. That's how I keep coming back. Yeah, for real. That's how I keep coming back. Had to pull my plans out. Got them looking so confused when I ain't got my hand out. Yeah.
Peace, beloved, peace. It's your homie, Young Content, the unofficial sensei of the culture, mastering youthfulness and contentment. And I have a wonderful, fantastic, you could say he's the Willy Wonka of the NFT game. Very early, very pioneering. You can see him selling the ocean. The one and only cryptostache. What up, buddy?
Yo, what is going on, man?
Dude, I have been a fan for a while, ever since the early crypto stuff you were doing, and now you're in NFTs, and you've been on the grind, man. So shout out to you. How you feeling? How's your day going?
I'm feeling fine. I'm doing it, man. I love Thursdays. Thursdays have become actually one of my favorite days of the week, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, why? Because it's like jam sandwich right in the middle of just like peace and tranquility.
No, well, yeah, yes and no. But Thursdays, just because I get to kind of do one of the fun things that I do every week, which is my secret stash live stream. So, I don't get a lot of time to do things that I just like truly like. Man, this is just for fun. I just love doing this because it's a lot of fun. Most of the time I'm working, I'm doing things that are more work oriented, right? But my live streams, those are like my fun time. It's my hangout time, my chill time with all my crew and my community,
Nice.
And that's like one of my favorite times of the week, man. I'm not gonna lie, instead of grinding over here, grind.
For sure.
Gotta have a little downtime and hanging out. I mean, it's still a little bit of work, but I enjoy it so much, and I enjoy hanging out. So Thursdays is a great day, man.
Man, that stash is real too, right? Because everywhere I go, Trader Joe's, hey, is that a real stash, man? Like,
it is real.
Do you always get that 100%. As a stash?
I've gotten that. Yeah, I've definitely gotten that. People think, is that real? How do you do that? Like, I was like, I just wake up like this, man.
So, yeah, you do. People insult me.
It's already on point when I wake up. I'm just like,
It looks like you surfing the waves of Mount Kilimanjaro or whatever.
Yeah, but we got stash synergy. That's why I call it stash synergy, man. You know, like my
Mine's a
stash
mess,
brother right
man.
here,
Mine's
dude.
more of a sensei in the mud,
But no,
Tibetan.
but the natural look is great, man. You still got the good, you know, the good length on it, and the, you know, it's the natural feel to it. I go natural sometimes, but well, most of the time, if I'm not on camera, you know, usually it'll be natural. If I'm going out with you something, like
Victory!
I do it up a little.
What up, A Dom? Hey, how you doing? Welcome all the people in the stream, all the five. I know Moon is in here. Treacherous, that boy Tretch. So thanks for coming to the stream. I am not a giant like this guy. I'm getting there, and I just wanted to tell your story, man. What? First off, I want to ask you, what do you love to do? Not what do you do. What do you? You'll get to that point, but what do you love to do?
Yeah. What I love to do, man, truly is I love to create. And that's in a big way. And so people are like, well, what does that mean? Like, are you an artist, whatever? I'm like, I wouldn't really consider myself an artist, but I'm a creator, right? And so what that really means to me is I love to create in multiple different disciplines and industries and in different mediums. You know, most of the time people will consider like, oh, I'm an artist. So like, oh, you do paintings or you do digital art or you do sculpture or whatever it may be. But you know, like I said, I create in kind of a lot of different realms. So yeah, I do those things, but I also create websites. I also code, and that's a form of creation, right?
Victory!
Taking something from zero to nothing, and coding into things. I have a degree in architecture, which is what I did for a long time before I got into doing development and now doing crypto. So I was creating buildings, you know. I
Wow.
mean, you can pretty much ask me to design and create anything, and I could do it and work in other mediums. Every year, my family, we do custom decorations for Halloween for our house, and I mean, we go all out, man. I mean, like last year, I built a 35-foot pirate ship in my front yard, man. So when it comes to like what is my favorite thing, is I love creating. I love having that you know, that creative feeling and just going for it and doing it. And that's what I'm saying. I don't get a ton of time to just be creative and create things. You know, I do it within my businesses and within what I'm doing in crypto. But that just, you know, that unfettered creativity and creation is that's really truly what I love. And so I've tried to find ways to pursue that in different, you know, in different industries. And like I said, so I do it across a lot of different mediums.
Dude, you are a world builder. You like to build worlds. The Ready
I
Player
built,
One
yeah,
aspect.
exactly, man. I love building things. I love creating, and I've done it, like I said, across multiple industries. And I love challenges. I like when someone underestimates me, and they're like, oh no, you know, because there was a time where just recently where I was like, hey, I would love to do some artwork for this project. And they're kind of like, oh, well, do you have like a
Victory!
portfolio online? Like, could you show us something? Maybe some, like, you know, do you have a Behance or something? And I go, man, I've been doing art and design for my entire life. I don't have a portfolio because I don't really consider myself like, oh, I'm an artist, so I got to have a portfolio with all my stuff there. And they kind of like scoffed at me a little bit, like, well, we only work with like established artists.
Behance.
And yeah, and I was like, okay, good luck with that, man.
Yeah.
But you know, so I love when people underestimate me, and then I can go and do and crush in what they just underestimated me in, and show them, look, I can create in any discipline, in any kind of format. You just, you know, all I need is the motivation and the time.
For sure.
Time is always
For
what
sure.
we're looking for here, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like
For
that
sure.
that's the most precious resource to me personally, and that's the one that I'm always the most short on.
Yeah, I know I don't have a family and you have a family, and I literally just quit my job to go full time NFT DGen, which is not probably the
Wow.
smartest thing to do. But
No, it's smart. I commend you on that, man. And honestly, I think that you'll look back in just a short year and you'll think, and you'll see how this was the best decision that you ever made.
dude,
I'm confident in that for you, man. I
thank you,
am.
bro.
I
Thank you.
feel it.
You're such a light, dude. Honestly, I didn't quit. I got fired.
That's an even better story, man. I love you. Honestly, I didn't quit. I got fired.
I just wanted to sound way more strategical than I actually am. The Cobra's in the
Hey, but
building.
no,
What
hey,
up?
well, hold on. Before we move on from that, man, you know, I think there's a lot of people that fall into that same situation where, you know, they've been affected by, you know, COVID. Obviously, a lot of people have been fired or let go or laid off. And, you know, I think it's an opportunity to really go chase your passion. What do you love in life? What is something you're interested in? Go after that. you know. And so you know, even though, oh, you were fired, most people in this situation, they'll still then try and go get that same job again, or in the same industry. They're not going to try and you know, progress themselves as a human, right? And so I think that you know, this is a great opportunity for you, and a lot of people don't take advantage of that opportunity. So I commend you for taking advantage of this opportunity, man,
Thank
and
you,
really
man.
making
Thank
the
you,
most
bro.
of it.
For real, absolutely. I honestly see cryptostache, especially how deeply plugged you are in the metaverse. You're eventually going to be in movies, my friend. You're eventually I don't
I
know if
don't
you
know
have a
about
theater
that.
background or anything like that, because you dress up, you have that gravitas, you bring people in. So it's like that's possibilities in this space. I'm seeing. I just got put on an NFT gaming item today from this company called Parallel NFTs, which is like a Magic the Gathering high-end trading card. The art is beautiful, and I claim like the Markrolians, which are the Mars elite, and there's like certain different tribes and stuff. But what do you see
Mhm.
for the space? Is like you're always collabing. You have your own
Yeah.
NFTs. Do you want to be in the movie scene, or do you see that happening? Do you see yourself always in the meta all the time?
I mean, yeah, that's a great question, man. You know, I've always been an entertainer. I'm a musician as well, so that's something that I don't like. We don't really get into a lot, man. But like, I've been a musician my
Talk
entire
about it.
life too. So when it comes down to, once again, creating, that's another element in another industry I created. Like, I'm a songwriter, and I've been in multiple bands. I've been a front man. I play multiple instruments, and so you know, I've been in the entertainment industry for quite some time. I've never been in like a feature film, but man, you know, I mean, how could you deny this stash and all the rest of this? You know what I'm saying?
I
So
love it.
I mean, maybe one of these days we'll see. You know, there's definitely I've done some stuff before that just never like made it out there. I worked with this company called Crypto Cake, where they were trying to do a series, like a whole channel actually, for crypto based entertainment and content. And so we did a lot of shoots here in Hollywood for some of that stuff. But not haven't been approached by any major movies. You know, it's funny that you say that
It's
though.
coming. It's just coming, man. They're
It
gonna
could
knock on your
be. Who
door
knows, man?
with
You
your
know, someone will
consistency.
discover the stash one of these days and be like, "My gosh, this guy has personality plus that mustache."
This guy is
Lord.
this guy is Thor himself, reincarnated.
It's true, but no. Funny you kind of mentioned that, is that you know, this week on the NFT beat, me and Ken Bozak were talking about this auction that is going on for Kevin Smith's latest NFTs. Because one of them, if you buy this NFT, you get a cameo appearance in the new upcoming Clerks 3 movie. And so I
What?
was like, oh, that's cool. So me and Bozak, we're going halvesies. We're gonna go halvesies, and we're gonna ask Kevin for a half of a cameo each. But I think he'll see our dynamic personalities when that time comes, and he'll want to just give us both a full screen time on it,
For
because
sure, bro. You guys are just
awesome.
so
Yeah.
super contagious. I love your energy, and it's just good karma. It's always good karma. Tell me about
Thank you, man.
when it comes to your community. Do you love your community, right? They share you really intimate stories, and I'm pretty sure
That
they lean on you.
that's the only reason why I'm here. I know people sometimes they feel like that's hard thing to believe. They're like, no, you're here for the money. You came for the profits, right? Like, that's why you're here. Like, no, honestly, that's not why I'm here. I was into crypto in 2013. That's when I first got in. And so I was investing and buying and stuff like that. And then but I really wasn't doing anything in the community until, you know, early 2017 or late 2016, I guess. You know, that's when I started like really looking at the cryptocurrency community. And, you know, if I hadn't found the good friends that I have now, when we first kind of got started, then that I found on, you know, on social media, and people that I connected with early on, if I hadn't found those good friends and those good people within the community, I wouldn't be here, man. I wouldn't be doing this content stuff. I wouldn't have put it and invested as much time into it. So my community is a huge thing for me, and it is one of the, you know, first things that I interact with when I get up in the day, and you know, one of the last things that I interact with and do when I'm
Nice.
before I'm going to sleep. You know, so I try and always listen to them when there's feedback or what's going on. I try and be as helpful as I possibly can. People are DMing me constantly. I mean, it's a nonstop stream. And so sometimes it is hard for me to get back to everybody because I get so many messages, but I really do honestly try and especially people who have some sort of issue I can help with or something like that. I try and be as helpful as possible. So
That's awesome.
love my community and love being able to support and us really kind of working together, to navigate this crazy landscape and to make profits together and to really, be on this journey and be growing and learning together. I'm not this dude who's like on a pedestal and I'm like some expert where it's like, oh, it's Stache, he's the expert. He's, no, it's all about us together, us as a community doing this and growing and learning together and being a force to be reckoned with. And my stashes out there have all I think profited and done well because of kind of the vibe that we have in the community and the close knit personalities and stuff that are in there.
I love it. Being early into crypto, like everyone said, oh, I got here before the 2016 bull run, 2017 bull run, but seeing the people like Ken Bozak and Crypto's News, and all these OGs and just making crypto content, talking about shitcoins and like Ethereum. Yeah. What was your first ever shitcoin that you invested in?
My first ever shitcoin that I owned. Let me think about that. That's dang. Hold on. Let me go. You know what?
Because mine, I have it on the paper right here. It was called Plexcoin, and they rug pulled, and it was just it really got me into the space, and then I started to tamper with, Theta and early ones like what's the early one I had? Like Chainlink, when I got it at 20 cents and sold it at $3 like a jackass. And
yeah, I mean, and that happens, man. And it's funny too because 1 year we could think a coin is a shit coin, and then you never know what happens in a year or two after that. So it's funny how we've seen some shit coins. The coins are like, man, this project's not doing anything. Where are they going? Are they gone? And then all of a sudden they come back. Like something like Mooncats, where it was some weird project that was like left off in 2017. Everyone forgot about it, and then all of a sudden it explodes. So that definitely happens. So that's why I'm always kind of like skeptical of like, well, do I get rid of them? What I do? And like, no, maybe they just sit there and as a kind of a commemorative coin that reminds me, hey, this was a bad decision, or maybe it does come back. But okay, so the very first coin that I would consider like a true shit coin that I really invested in that went nowhere was called Never Die Coin.
Never Die Coin.
And Never Die was from from Never Die Studios, which is a game studio, and they're part of the Entropia universe. And this is like an MMORPG that has big money going through it, where people were paying for like whole planets. And Never Die and the Never Die Club, and that guy that is associated with that, they had this like the largest club and in the entire universe, and he ended up selling this for like $500,000 or $250,000. I don't remember, but the whole idea was that they were going to be building out this whole crypto ecosystem, and they had this Never Die token, and it was going to be used for being able to regenerate your character. Right. So anytime you die, you're essentially paying tokens to regenerate him. It's like that. I was like, oh, that's actually seems legit. This is a studio that's done things before. They have games out, and then they're just nothing, man. They never did it. And then they actually had done a promotion with the game I was currently playing too, saying that if you buy some of these tokens, that they were going to be somehow involved in the game. And
this was in 2017, 2016.
This was in 2017, yeah. And wow. They weren't, and then nothing really happened, and it's been years, man. And I caught this dude at a conference like a year or two, or about a year after this kind of all went down. No, it wasn't like that, man. I wasn't like, give me my money. I was just like, hey, what's up? And he was there speaking. So this was still when they were still trying to like do something. But now at this point, like there hasn't been any news, no movement for years now on that project.
They could be like Mooncats. Who knows?
They're just exactly. They're just sitting there now. Who knows? Maybe something will come out of it. But in general, yeah, that was probably one of my really first like right. I invested. It wasn't an airdrop, It was like I actually invested in this token and yeah. So
I love how you took gaming very seriously as like a futurist, even in the beginning. Me and you all both knew, because I've been in the game a long time, that NFTs would probably bring Ethereum to where it's at. It would be that catalyst, and that's where it's at now. DeFi, NFTs. So yeah, commend to you just to be on there early, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, I saw all that stuff like when things were going down in 2017. You know, I had saw some of the first early NFTs. You know, it was like CryptoPunks and some other ones that were around, some of the projects that were around that time. But you know, just you know, not having utility behind them didn't trigger it for me then. You know, just seeing like, oh, cool, it's a picture, that's great. Yeah, it's like crypto pixel art, like, not very impressive pixel art, but it's cool. That's all right. But it was when CryptoKitties launched is when I saw the utility that could be put behind something, and that was really when it was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be everything. And I had almost the exact same feeling I did when I first read Satoshi's white paper in 2013. It was like, boom, this is going to be everything. Everything is going to be this in 20 years. And that's exactly how I felt about NFTs when, you know, CryptoKitties hit the scene, because they really were like giving utility to this new asset, you know, this new standard. And so where we saw most people focusing on ERC20 as being a great standard and making it easy to be able to do projects in 2017, you know, I was really looking at this NFT scene as like, man, this is going to be the future. And then, you know, we had a bunch of projects making all their own coins, and a lot of people lost money because there's all these shit coins out there, because, you know, it's so easy to make a token. When you have a standard, you can just copy and paste.
Absolutely.
But standards are very important. So I think that, you know, when we saw these standards come out for NFTs, ERC 721, and then now the latest one, ERC 1155, which has more functionality for NFTs here on Ethereum. Yeah. You know, those really help to push the whole scene forward, and so I followed all of those things.
Yeah, that's why when a project airdrops you some shit, take it seriously, because Uniswap did it, Rarible did it. You know, when you have projects to do that, I could be legitimized. When you just have nothing but like fluff on a web page, and I'm like, all right, you got to show me more. I was gonna ask,
and that's how a lot of it was. It was just kind of a white paper and a dream.
Absolutely. Who do you look up in? Who was someone that you looked up to in the beginning of your Stasher career?
So, you know, when I first kind of started getting involved in the community, yeah, there weren't a lot of people who were like creating content or content creators. You know, there just weren't a ton of them out there. Not that they weren't, but
there's still not a lot today.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely picking up, man. You know, I've seen a huge increase over the last few years. You know, in 2017, there was only a few of us, and we all kind of knew each other. So I know all of those people that you've mentioned. You know, Omar is a good buddy of mine,
Omar
and people like Crypto Crow have been around for a while. Like I know all these people. BitBoy is a good friend of mine. So like we just have all kind of yeah, Mark Mossy. We've all kind of grown up together, man, and in this scene, you know. So we've all hung out, we've done streams, you know, we've all hung out in person, and we're all real life friends, you know. But before I met all these people and really got into the you know, greater community, I would say hands down, Andreas Antonopoulos was always my go-to man. I mean, yeah, dude, he is you know, one of my favorites, and one of the ones I always highly recommend to everybody. You know, if you guys don't know Andreas, you need to go check out his content. He is the OG of OGs, and
dude, he'll make you cry in a conference. The dude is just an egalitarian.
Yeah, he knows how he talks about it in such a passionate way, in such a knowledgeable way. The guy is incredibly intelligent, and you know, everything he's putting out and all of his words, you know, I hang on those. And so yeah, that out of everybody, he is at the top of my list of who I look up to in cryptocurrency.
I would have to second that. And he's not like trying to create an NFT. He's just making books, educating, a scholar, a true Nostradamus, a true humble scholar. You know, just gives out that free information all the time. Do you know Richard Hart?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
You know, I don't know Richard personally like that. Like, we're not on like, you know, buddy.
I feel like I would get along with Richard. I don't know.
But he's got a big personality, man. You know, and he's done a lot of things in the space. I'm not the biggest fan of Hex and kind of that community and stuff like that. Like when
it's
he first
a CD.
Launched, yeah, it's a CD. Yeah, when it first launched, I felt like just a lot of the people that the community seemed kind of toxic the way they do it. I'm not a big fan of maximalism for any coin, right? Or toxic communities or community members who are just so over the top. Like, what? You don't love Hex? You're a horrible human being, and I hope your whole family dies. And like, those people are out there, man, and they scare me. And I don't want to hold a token that has people that are that aggressive. Yeah. You know, I think that
Richard Hart could be kind of pompous or hubris. His whole hubris could make him not see, because he'll say shit like NFTs are fucking trash. I mean, that
Yeah.
sounds like a maximalist, Bitcoin dude.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think that a lot of times we just see people who, they maybe don't get it yet either. And even though you've been in crypto for a long time, when something new comes along, that doesn't automatically mean that you're just going to get it and you're going to support it and you're going to be on board. I think that sometimes it does take some time for people to really like say, okay, yeah, this is legit. I'm on board. I get this, and I'll be a part of it, and I understand it.
Nice. Shout out to Deadstock OG. Butt Chin. Psycup says, "What up, Young? Who has the better stash, Young or crypto? You want to do like a little Mortal Kombat
Ah,
thing right here, so we can just
yeah, don't. Yeah, I know. I got to get the open hand position though. With the
No, man, they're equally as holy. I
we
think he has.
talked
I
about
think
this
he has a
before
better
we
stash
jumped
than
on.
me because it's cleaner. So I like clean, organized things. This is more of a Gallagher stash.
That's true. Yeah. Well, this is you're going with the natural look, and I go with the groomed look. But sometimes I rock the natural look too, man, and it looks pretty much like yours when it's natural like that. I mean, I do. I
Do
keep
you
it
ever go
trim.
full down where it's like full Asian sensei full down, or like
I
Kill
do.
Bill?
Yeah. Sometimes I do. I'll just brush it off just for the hell of it. Sometimes just to kind of go with like the old like it's like the old white man mustache where it's like a
I
caterpillar, a
love it.
big fuzzy caterpillar.
That's the best. That's what I'm trying to do here. I kind of clean it up here. Parallel in the building. Shout out to Parallel. Oh man, I'll always love Parallel in the building. Um, I have a stream with Ben Morrow on Sunday, and you know who Ben Morrow is?
No, I don't know Ben.
He created Evolution, the Vive. He worked on The Hobbit and
Okay.
Elysium, and
Wow.
made the character design.
In what kind of capacity did you work on them?
He worked on the exoskeleton of Matt Damon's exoskeleton and the ships.
Oh, so he does like special effects and creations.
Effects design.
Awesome.
And he created Chappie the robot.
Ooh, that's cool, man. Wow, I'm about to tune in for that for sure.
Big stuff.
Those are all you're hitting all my faves, dude. I love fantasy and science fiction. Like those are always been my favorite stuff. Huge science fiction and fantasy nerd, and like love Star Wars, love all the like Lord of the Rings.
Alien.
I mean, I must have read that book, man. The whole series, not that book, but the whole series of Lord of the Rings books, dozens of times since I was a kid. Like no joke.
Do you speak Elvish?
I wish that I could, but no, I don't.
This girl I was talking to got an Elvish tattoo here on her neck, and I thought it was the hottest thing she ever did. And then she fucking dumped me, and I was like, damn, bro, I could have literally fucking been marrying an elf one day.
Yeah, I feel that, man. I feel that. I'm all for the elves too, but no, I don't speak Elvish, but that'd be cool. That'd be a good one to learn. Like that Klingon. There's a couple other like fantasy style like or sci-fi style languages would be kind of interesting to know, to like have some in that repertoire.
Someone said, Butchin said, let your stash down. What? Card Surfer Walshy in the building says, what's up, Parallel? I highly encourage you to, I'll send you a link to Parallel's website to see their work. It's very sci-fi, very homage to some of the greats.
Nice.
And
I love it, man.
It's beautiful. It's super beautiful. You'd be like, wow, that should be a piece on my mantle, not just something I play like on a board game.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh, I'll definitely check it out.
So when it comes down to sci-fi, what do you see yourself involving in sci-fi? Do you see the next 10 years in crypto? What do you see? Are we going into a quantum leap of utility and fractionalization and just like a cyberpunk future? Or what do you see for the next 10 years in this?
Full cyberpunk future, man. I want my robotic hand replacements and arm replacements that are just like interchangeable, yeah, yeah, exactly. I need my own droid. What is going on here, guys? Like that's really I fall into this constant trap because I'm very much a futurist, and I love cutting edge tech, and I always give humans more benefit of the doubt than they probably deserve in rolling out technology. So I'm always like, yeah, this is gonna happen. We're gonna have self-driving cars in 5 years. Done. Everyone's gonna be on it. And like, really, we should. But there's so many other hurdles and things like that. When it comes to crypto, though, this industry changes so fast, man. And it's hard to really predict how things are going to be in such a long period. I think that we're going to see in the next decade. I think we're going to see a dominance of what we call Web3, right? Which is essentially underlying blockchain technology powering most websites and powering most interactions and interfaces and UIs and UXs that we're going to be interacting with. I think that the token economy is going to be proliferated across the entire internet, not just for crypto-based stuff, but everything is going to be working off of some sort of token. We already see a lot of this now. They just weren't cryptographically based tokens, right? Your reward points that you get at the store, or your flight miles that you're getting every time you book a flight. Like, the concepts are already there, but we just didn't have as good of a way to track them, monetize them, distribute them, and incentivize them. And we really have that now. So I think we're going to see that proliferated across the entire internet. I think it's going to be the basis for that next evolution of what we're doing in a connected universe, right?
Wow.
And I think cryptocurrency is going to be the back end of that. I think it's really going to push that narrative for everything to work like that. And so, we're going to see every platform that is there here today adding some sort of that kind of component. And we're already kind of seeing that too. You see all these companies scrambling right now to get NFTs out. They have to have an NFT. If they don't, someone's going to beat them to the punch, and they want that money. And so these kind of hype cycles also, they drive that FOMO for companies and things to get on board. And we're seeing more and more of that. So I think that by 10 years, it'll be a common thing for companies to hold cryptocurrency on their balance sheet and to use it as a part of what they may be giving in dividends to their stockholders, or what it may be. Yeah. We'll see a complete change in the stock industry and how assets are how they're not only allocated, but how they're sold and how they're managed. Right now there's a lot of problems with stocks and companies and how that all goes down, and being an accredited investor and all the other BS that goes with that. Cryptocurrency is really breaking down those doors. Yeah, and blockchain is really breaking down those doors. So I think that we're going to see a huge shift in just the how companies are going public, and what a public company looks like. I don't think it's going to look like it has for the last I don't know, hundreds or so years since we've really been doing the stock exchanges. So
yeah, even big influencers like Gary V. What do you think about his V friends getting access to VCon, which is his own conference, entertainment and culture, which we might be in VCon as like early adopters? Maddie, DCL blogger, you, not me, I'm just a little guy. But what do you think about V friends and that whole utility with it?
Yeah, I think that a lot of people were skeptical when Gary came on board, and so was I when I first saw him jump in. But then I really saw him do his due diligence and interact with the community, which is a huge point for me when I see celebrities or influencers or people who are outside of it, when they come in, like be part of the community. Don't just kind of shit your NFTs on us and then make a bunch of money and run, which is what most people are doing.
Little John,
but
yeah.
So yeah, and so Gary didn't go that direction. He really took his time and has been doing his research. And so when he put these out, we talked about this because the NFT beat was on Tuesday, and he dropped it on Wednesday, and it was kind of it was top secret until then. And I pretty much knew that's what he was going to come with, that he was going to do NFTs that monetized his time in some sort of way. And that's essentially what he's done here is he's given some great utility. And I mean, not everybody can do that because, they're not at his level, right? I could do something like that, but it would be hard for me to really, deliver on that. I don't have a big national conference. Like, there's no StacheCon yet. Yet.
Let me get on the roster.
Yeah, but I think it was a great way of going about it. A lot of people are like, oh, it's brilliant, it's genius. I can't believe no people have definitely done this already. Just nobody at his level has done this already, where they fractionalized a bit of their time and given unique one-on-one experiences. These are advices that I've been giving to people for the last 4 years when they ask me about creating NFTs. I do consults with people all the time, and as a matter of fact, last 8 months, I've been doing a ton of them with musicians, music producers, other people of that nature. And that's always what I tell them. I go, this is a great way to give your fans more access to you as a person, as a one-on-one thing, or a unique experience with you. And we've seen other people do some stuff like that. Like Blau did a really good job with that, of like, putting an NFT out where it gave you access to, all access to his shows.
We went from gold. We went from seashells to gold, and Andreas AA says this all the time. We went from seashells to gold to money, paper money, digital money. Now we have attention money, and it's like super cool. The attention economy, which Gary has tapped into. and what you've been telling your people.
Yeah, exactly. And Gary's he really knows how to tap into that attention economy. He's done really well for himself. Definitely, one of my role models, somebody that I looked up to for these types of things, and kind of seeing like, well, how do you, what's the best way to interact with your community, and how do you do that at scale, right? That's always something that I struggle with personally, is keeping these things doable at scale. So when you go from, okay, well, you have 10,000 followers, what happens when you have 100,000? What happens when you hit 1,000,000? And so some of these things are not scalable, but I think he's done a really good job of scaling things up and creating businesses and people to manage those things too.
Cool. I was gonna talk to you about Doge. Are you excited for Elon to be on SNL?
Doge to the moon. The CEO of Doge being on SNL, I'm sure will be a lot of fun. I'm sure there'll be some fun Doge skits. I like seeing mainstream kind of take what we're doing in crypto and make it into ridiculous parodies, because they think it's a fad and they think it's stupid, and I'm like, that's great, but that shows that we're making progress. When you start to see multiple skits on SNL every other week about cryptocurrency, and it's like, jab away, man, pump the hell out of my bags, please.
Absolutely.
And that's essentially, and that's kind of what they're doing here. So I think that I think it'll be pretty cool. And I've been a Doge holder for a long time. I don't own like piles of Doge. I always had a small moon bag until about maybe 10 months ago, or 8 months ago or something. I bought Doge when it was pretty low. I didn't buy a lot, but I mean, I bought more than my little moon bag of what I had. Sure. And so I've been just kind of sitting on that, and then I've just watched it go up and up, and it's great. And, we'll see, man, if this meme coin can flip a, BSC and maybe even Ethereum, who knows?
My plan is I'm hedging with Doge, with other shit dog coin, meme coins. And then I hope, like Pranksy did, because Pranksy, right? Yeah, just he made his millions off CryptoKitties in the surge of Top Shot, and I was early on Top Shot with him, and I'm just one step away, one play away from changing my entire family's life, and I just have to really hone into it, and that's why I'm hedging against Hoj, with Hoj, and all this other bullshit.
I feel that, man.
We're one play away, Stache.
No, I feel you, and I've done pretty well too on those. Like I was in the beta of Top Shot, so I was buying packs when you could just go to the store and like no one was buying them, and like you just pick as many up as you wanted.
We were the same.
I should have bought more, but so what happened was I in the closed beta I got a little salty with the team because of some issues, and so I kind of before everything exploded, I had pulled back on buying packs, and then I sold a bunch of moments like right when their marketplace was like when they came out of closed beta, and I think it was like early October or late September when that happened. And then just a little bit after that, man, they just kind of exploded. And I was like, I probably shouldn't have sold all those. But, it's all good. The difference between the way I approach things and the way Pranksy approaches things is that he's a trader. That's what he does. He trades, man. He's out there trading. That's his main thing. I consider myself more of an educator and content creator. I spend way less time like in front of a screen trying to trade and get those good deals and swap and buying and selling and then reselling higher and things like that. My strategy is a little bit more of a long-term strategy. So I buy and hold on a lot of things and look for swing trade opportunities, within that time frame. But most of the stuff I'm looking for long-term holds on stuff. Yeah. And it's a guarantee, it just comes down to risk. There's a lot more risk in buying, CryptoPunks and reselling them, or buying NBA Top Shot cards.
But why wouldn't you rather just hold them for good ROI?
Yeah.
The HODL strategy is the best strategy.
It really is, man. That stashing strategy, man. All my stashers out there, which I call my community stashers. That's what we're all about, man. That's one of the things I always preach. And I talk about this thing, what I call the stasher method. And I've been, people are like, what is the stasher method you talk about? And I'm like, yeah, I want to do a whole series on it because there's like these certain steps. There's 7 steps in the stasher method. But yeah, but exactly. But in general, a lot of it just comes down to long-term thinking, reducing risk. Most people are not traders. Most people are not going to win out trading and trying to flip assets like people like Pranksy are doing, right? Most people are going to probably lose out in that game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I gotta get involved in this drop. Let me sell my fucking chain link for $3.
Yeah. So it's gonna happen. People are going to make mistakes, and even Pranksy, I'm sure there's days where he loses. It's not a win every day type of game. But with my strategy, it's a win every day because you're not losing.
It's perfect.
So
That's perfect.
yeah.
That's something I need to definitely get on board with. Share that information out. You're kind of like the poor man's Andreas Antonopoulos, man. You don't even know it.
Yeah, I love that. I'm gonna have to do an NFT with the poor man's Andreas.
I would love to have you interview him and kind of pick his brain because he talked about something called he's a digital nomad.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a house and he goes travels to conferences and he just stashes that crypto, and
Yeah.
he's content with just being a good human, and
Yeah, and I remember I don't remember what year this was. It might have been 2017, where and I don't remember who it was that shamed him, but somebody shamed him about like not being a multimillionaire owner of Bitcoin. And he was, and like someone like straight up shamed him for this on Twitter.
yeah.
And then someone else like put up a donation or whatever, and like I think everyone, like tons of people just donated to him, and like made like overnight was like that, like he had enough Bitcoin to like be a Bitcoin millionaire. It was something like, but the dude
Wow.
is so humble, man, and his mission and the way he approaches things. Yeah, I've actually tried to get him to do an interview with me before, and I've never been successful. But I will tell you right now, man, one of the things I did when I first got started in this industry in 2017 was I made these wooden tokens. They're made out of wood. They're laser etched with my logo, and they were numbered. And I only did 41 of them, and I would give them out to people who had influenced my journey and people who
Wow.
I respected in the
That's
industry.
beautiful,
And so
Stash.
I gave them all out during the, and people who were like part of my classes, that were like my first crypto class I ever did when I taught people in person. I used to do classes where people would come, we're sitting there in a classroom environment, and usually older people, but teaching them about Bitcoin and some of the ins and outs, and how it works. And so yeah, I gave away all these tokens, these wooden tokens, except for one. I have kept this one last wooden token because I always said this last one would go to Andreas, and I would never give it away to anybody else. So until I could actually meet him face to face and talk
Fulfill
to him
the
in
mission.
person
Fulfill the
and
mission,
do it,
cadet.
yeah. So one of these days I will definitely fulfill this mission and get him that token, and let him know that he definitely was a big influence, and I
Think
continue
about it.
to
When
love his
Jeff
work.
Bezos has a statue and Andreas Antonopoulos has a statue, what is going to be the statue that most people flock to? It's going to be Andreas, duh, because
Yeah,
he doesn't. He's self-serving. He's not self-serving. It's like that's how you build a community. I take notes from him how to build a community. Deadstock
yeah.
said 2 Staches, 1 Andreas, make it happen. Talk to me about let's. We've been talking about a lot of cool things and getting to know you and stuff, man. Nice pearly whites. What are some of your favorite NFTs right now? I think you mentioned Gods Unchained. I'm bullish on Gods Unchained.
Yeah, well, Gods Unchained is one of my favorite NFT games, like blockchain games. So I play it pretty often, and I've worked with the team for many years now, and I
Aramis
was in
and
the, yeah, I've
Clay.
been in the closed beta. I was in
Yeah.
the closed beta for this, so before it came out, I've been playing it since the beginning and supporting them. Love what they're doing there. Is it my favorite NFTs? I mean, I do love Gods Unchained. I probably out of sheer volume, I probably own more Gods Unchained NFTs than any other single anything else.
Yeah.
Like for sure, by far. Like I own thousands of Gods
Yeah.
Unchained cards, but
Because
uh,
in that time we could have went with CryptoKitties or Gods Unchained because they were the very
yeah,
early ones. So
yep,
Decentraland,
yep.
Gods Unchained.
And I got some kitties too. I got a couple of crypto kitties, all of them with stashes, of course.
Nice, nice.
But yeah, I mean, like the stuff that I'm really feeling here recently that I've been collecting a lot of is mostly on wax. So I do most of my collection on wax, and I've been collaborating with some great artists to give them a spotlight on wax. And so most of the stuff that I really love and enjoy has been on wax. I haven't been collecting a lot of stuff on Ethereum lately. I can't pay the fees, man. It's
Yeah,
just too expensive,
yeah.
and
I've been
I'm
paying a
not a
lot of
whale
fees
over here.
lately. I've been 3,000 in fees just for
Yeah, that's
collectibles.
ridiculous, man. Think about how much more value and things
I
you could
know.
have done. So I forego a lot of things. I miss out on things, and
Yeah,
people are, oh, well, who cares if you can, if you can resell it for 10 times the amount later? Like but that's just, it's one of my ethos things. And one of the reasons why I'm in crypto is because I hate paying fees, man.
for real.
I don't want to be paying $20 to my bank for them to hold my money, for them to then fractionally reserve that money out. and make a bunch of interest on it and then give me nothing. So why would I want people to fuck me over in Ethereum the same way?
Facts. Short
That's
the
simple, man.
bankers. Isn't that the fucking
Yeah,
mission? But
exactly.
that's
Yeah.
that's what I
Yeah.
noticed with Wax too. A lot of people shit on Wax, but I'm like, dude, Wax is fucking forward thinking. They're on EOS, right? They're using the EOS blockchain for Wax, or no?
It doesn't use EOS blockchain. It's built on EOS technology. So it's
Technology.
they're their own standalone blockchain. It's not like it's not like how Ethereum has ERC20 tokens. It's not like that. It's their own. Wax is a standalone blockchain, and they're built off of EOS technology.
And
But
you see
it's
how the
all different.
and you see how the pendulum swings. Everyone's buying ETH. Now everyone's talking about our planet and alien worlds and trying to get that ether and stake, which I think is the most genius thing. Take your NFTs that you would sell normally and leverage them in our planet. Genius.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, man. I mean, I love what our planet is doing. I love that, we're finding more and more ways to give NFTs utility. And in particular, what I like about our planet is that, they started off by giving other people's projects utility, not their own necessarily. They've now since launched their own NFTs and their own packs and lands and things like that for the land sale. But I love the fact that there's companies coming on board and they're saying, hey, look, these NFTs for this other project, we can use these in our thing too, and it's this great interoperability between projects, and that's something that Engine is kind of pioneered, and with Ethereum kind of being clogged up the last few years, it's been a lot harder for them to continue that mission. But now we're starting to see some new solutions coming for Ethereum. So in general, I love that interconnectivity that we're seeing between projects, between chains. And that definitely is one of the biggest hurdles in the cryptocurrency industry is interoperability. We really need that to be liquid across everything, and we'll get there. And I think that in that 10-year scope of what I was talking about earlier, that will be one of the linchpins for realizing that that future is that we need full interoperability across everything.
I got to give credit where credit is due. Back to Influence and Parallel, because Parallel, their story writing is so on that alien style, on that Chappie style. They have some of the greatest storyline writers on their team, and then they partnered with this space MMO called Influence, which is selling asteroids in the belt, where you can have like a space game where you mine, you travel between them. There's pirates, there's scientists. It's like EVE Online, and so they literally cross-chain their lore into Influence's asteroid belt, and it's like cool. It's seeing that interoperability. It keeps the project immortal.
Yeah. I mean, that's huge. That's what I'm saying. I think that we're going to see more and more of that. And, right now it's one of those things where like, no, why would I want to, let my items be in somebody else's game or incorporate somebody else's items or NFTs into my game? And people or developers are very like closed system in that respect. But this is going to open it all up, man. And we're going to see, the future is a fluid, universe like what we see in Ready Player One, where you just have this fully connected metaverse where everything is connected to everything, and that is the format you build in. It's no longer like a standalone experience every time. It's everything's interconnected and everything works with everything else.
I feel like Steven Spielberg just threw that movie on us just to flex. He was like, oh yeah, you guys are going to be doing this very soon with NFTs, and I'm just going to be like a forward-thinking sensei here and fucking flex on you.
Well, yeah, and you look at like a lot of the stuff that they have in the movie and in the book too, and just well, that's the end result. But then how does it work in the back end? Well, you start thinking about, well, how what would you need for this to work in the back end? And blockchain and what we're doing in crypto is the beginning of that. I can guarantee it.
Wow, I got to ask you a personal question, sci-fi question. Oh, would you rather be human, cyborg, or alien, and why?
Damn, man, that's okay.
Human, cyborg, alien.
If okay, so alien. So okay, you got to tell me what alien means then. Like I understand what a cyborg is. It's half cybernetic and half human, right? But what kind of alien?
We're talking about
that's a huge difference.
Maybe like a Palladian or something, or like a Anunnaki or some ancient alien or something like that. Maybe like maybe like a alien that harvests humans. I don't know.
All right, I will go with a human harvesting alien. That's exactly what I'd be.
He said, I'm going to consume on another galaxy.
Well, you gotta just think like there's so many possibilities for other types of life and for life to be in different formats and to look different than what our highest level that we know of kind of existence or humanity or intelligent life, right?
Yeah.
We only know so much, and there's a lot of combinations or things that could be out there that that could be high intelligent or sentient beings out there, and they may not necessarily look like what we classically have portrayed in sci-fi,
Yeah.
or what we have in our minds.
I was at a beer garden the other day and I was sitting down and watching the people. And I was like, what if this is on another planet with like 3 moons? You know, what if someone is doing the exact same thing I'm doing?
Yeah, or what if this is all a hologram and we've created it ourselves, and we're matrixed and we're sitting in little cubes. There's when your brain starts to run and you have all these great this great cannon fodder that we have in sci-fi, the sky's the limit, man.
Yeah, because Sergey from Chainlink, he was like, the what inspired him to create Chainlink was the Matrix, um, the books and everything. That's why he created the oracles and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
I heard him on Lex Friedman talk about this, and I'm like, yeah, that kind of freaks me out. That thinking this guy who's gonna create all these like secure networks between links and stuff is thinking about Matrix stuff, you know?
Well,
Um,
yeah, I think that a lot of people are just okay. So I think crypto attracts a lot of the same personalities, and that's something I've definitely found is that out of every industry that I've ever been in, cryptocurrency and that attracts people who are so much close in thinking to myself. I love it. That's when, like I said, that's one of the main reasons why I've stuck around is I found these people like, man, you are like on the exact same page. They have the same kind of ideals and ethics and ethos, and I haven't found that close of that in anything else.
Tell me
So
you're a
it makes
'90s
sense.
baby, bro. You got to be a '90s baby. No,
I'm an '80s baby.
dude, I'm
Yep.
trapped in the '80s. I'm literally trapped, listening to the Midnight and fucking watching fucking T1. It's crazy.
I love '80s, man. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I love all '80s stuff. I'm a
It's
big
back.
fan of that as a genre of things or of like culture, right? And well before Ready Player One made it like this big cool thing, I always loved all the stuff going on in the '80s. Like that's when I grew up, and early '90s too. Early '90s stuff going into like that grunge era, kind of transitioning out away from the '80s is also pretty big for me too.
For sure. Um, so we're coming up at the end of the stream, but we got like another 8 minutes. I just wanted to. I know you're a busy man. You got stuff to do out there. I wanted to say, what's up with the music career? How can I support that? Like when you coming out with a CD, dude, or collabing with Audius or something?
Probably won't be collabing with the Audius, but I am my current band called Brother Pines. We're working on a new album, and it's something we've been writing the music during the pandemic, and we were going to be going and recording it last year, but we're scheduled to
What is it?
go
What
and
kind of music is it? You're a heavy metal guy, huh?
No,
It's
that's
funk.
wrong, but I'll let you guess one more time.
It's funk. It's got to be some
Nope.
funky like. That's it.
You got one more. Okay, one more
All
guy.
right,
I'll
all
give you
right,
one
all
more
right, all
guess.
right, all right. It's a synthwave.
Synth. Yeah, that was a good one too. All of those are wrong. I've played lots of different styles of music, but the band I'm in currently is actually a bluegrass band, bluegrass country
Ooh,
folk band.
I love that. Is it
Yeah, so
bluegrass or old time?
it's bluegrass.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean we have little hints of other things in there too, so I wouldn't say it's a strictly bluegrass band because that really is something that bluegrass Nazis will get on you about. But yeah, very much bluegrass, folk, country feel to it,
I
and
love that.
yeah,
I love that.
yeah, it's
Being
a lot
in
of
North
fun, man.
Carolina, my buddy, the Belly Boys, and just trying to live in Wyoming, I'm a huge bluegrass fan. When it
Awesome.
comes down to Lost Dog Street Band, and a lot of these good Culture Wall, and there's just some good stuff out there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great industry, man. So, I've really enjoyed it. I've worked in that industry for a while. I had a music festival that was a bluegrass and folk music festival that I did for about 5 years here in Long Beach, and
Yeah,
it was pretty successful.
that's
So,
cool.
yeah,
Long Beach has that bluegrass love. That's cool.
they did, man. The festival is no longer going on. We the last year we did it was 2017. 2017? Yes. Yes, I'm looking at the posters on my wall. I'm just making sure. Yeah, 2017 was it. Yep. So yes, we did it for 5 years, and just to be perfectly honest, man, got crushed by Golden Voice. We got some big competition, and they started doing stuff on like our same date, the same weekend, and I couldn't compete anymore with the big guys. So yeah.
For real, for real. Well, it seems like you're gonna do well with it. I would say with this part, I need you to give. At the end of the stream, I always tell the guests to give some sensei wisdom to my community, to your community. Your community is in the Feta chat as well. What's some real good nuggets we can leave away from the stash that could really help us out?
Real good nuggets. I mean, I really say, just like we kind of revisited earlier, we talked about earlier in the very beginning of the stream, is, you know, really go after what you love. Follow what you love. Don't let your current position or your current job or whatever you're doing to make money right now, don't let that hinder you and force you to kind of, you know, piss away your precious time you have in life, especially when you're young, man. Go after the stuff you love. Do it. Take the risk. Take the chance. And do it in your extra time. If you have to work that one job and then do the other stuff, do it, man. Go after that thing and pursue it. You're never going to be happier than when you're doing that.
That's awesome, bro. Look, I really appreciate what you offer to the space. It's a refreshing thing to see someone so positive and not toxic and not fucking a douchebag and just really speaks their mind. But like your boy Ken Bozak said, stop buying rich people's NFTs. I'm just joking. You can, but it's good to support Stache's NFTs, get his stuff, buy his drops on wax. They're probably going to be worth a lot of money one day, just because you're investing in the grassroots of this guy. So, thanks for doing what you do, man.
Much love. Yeah, thank you, man, and thanks for having me on here. This is a great combo, man. I really enjoyed it.
We got to do it again sometime.
You know.
Stay in the chat for a second. I'm just going to go to the music, and see you soon. Peace.
I got too much that is happening. Stop all that yapping. You gon' be mopping and waxing, yeah. Why they all calling me captain? Looking like Sparrow. Said in my sail like Jackson. Beat up collecting the booty. Yeah, at the gutter, I'm talking my jewelry, yeah. Star on my neck, I represent. Part of the tribe, I'm indigenous. Whoa. Why you be tripping when I been out getting it? Really, this ain't nothing new. Started with nothing, I ain't even fronted, but now we came back with the juice. Legendary, guess you could say it's hereditary. God flexing, looking very scary. Broke the shackles off me like it's Mary Mary. Yeah, if they come and take it from me, I'ma make it back. They say if you give a man the fish, you'll keep him coming back. But if you teach a man the fish, you go out making his own racks. Skip the hand.